guys, stay tuned. This episode is gonna be a little different. We're gonna take you through several different tiny homes to show you the varieties that we build, and I wanna see what you think of them.
This home that we're in right now is absolutely beautiful. I love this. We're sitting up in a loft area right now. This whole thing, there's so much wood in here. This area that we're sitting in right now is a large space.
Yes.
There's a lot of space right here.
Yeah.
This whole space is surrounded by these windows, but then you have these amazing skylights. You've got them here, you've got them down there.
The key is to feel like you're outside, to be in your tiny home, but feel like you're in nature. This home also has two roof pitches. Again, in the middle, we'd like to drop the middle because you don't have any lofts. So that's why we don't drop the front or the back of the tiny home.
We're right now sitting on what is in essence an upstairs.
Yeah.
Because right below us,
Yes.
you can sleep.
Yes, yes. So there is actually a man cave below us. That's what I call this one because it's actually a king bed down there. So
Okay.
it's a king bed, it's got a bookshelf, it's got its own TV, DVD player, windows, like everything that you'll need. So it's just like having a loft, but down below. So those people who don't really want to go up ladders or go upstairs, like young children, for example, they could all just sleep down there.
And then you go across and you have something very similar over there, where you have a bathroom, and then above that,
Yes.
you have another loft.
Exactly.
So let's talk about this for a second. So you have enough room to sleep a couple of people down right below us.
Yes.
I'm assuming this is considered a bed.
This is a queen, actually. It folds out into a full queen.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have this, which is a couch during the day, and then a queen bed at night, and then on the opposite side,
It's another queen.
you have another queen bed. So you
Yes.
really could get 6 people
Well, yeah.
easily
Yeah.
in this space.
And they'd be comfortable. I think
Super comfortable.
That's the difference. You see some tiny homes where they stick people in like bunk beds and like all these weird places. And
These stairs that come up here are a little bit interesting.
so these stairs actually hide a washer and dryer combo unit. The owners really wanted a washer and dryer because they have like 6 kids, the
Okay.
owners of this tiny home. So when they come into town, they use this
They
tiny
stay
home.
here.
They stay here, yes, with 6 kids.
And then they just use it as their home, and it's like
Exactly.
a home. That's one of the interesting things about what you guys do with these tiny homes, is that you can't help but compare it to a hotel.
Yes.
Because that is kind of the idea. People are renting it for a day or
Yeah.
two when they come on vacation or what have you.
It's a hotel with none of the inconveniences.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's a hotel that doesn't feel like a hotel.
Inconveniences. It's kind of like your own little private getaway, for sure.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it, because you're not sharing walls, you're not
Yes.
sharing air.
You're not sharing
You-
the outside facilities, nothing.
Right.
It's all for you.
Yeah.
This is your own space.
And yet, and it's so interesting because that's true, and it also, with all of the openness, the windows especially and the skylights, it just feels big. Feels like it expands out beyond the home. It's I don't even know how to explain it exactly, but just sitting here right now and just seeing the skylights on the other side,
Yes.
it makes the whole thing feel open.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you about that too, because you always have so many windows in these places. This particular up here, it looks like these 3 windows are the same.
Yes.
You get down here and you actually have these divided windows.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So I did the dividing windows for light reasons. So the small windows actually bring in a lot of light. So I didn't put any blinds in them because you can't see into the tiny home from there.
Okay.
It just brought in a lot more light and made it feel more airy, and it brings your eyes upwards to make it feel more inviting of a space. So like when you look over at that other loft, don't you want to go hang out over there? Mm-hmm. Like that looks like somewhere you want to go relax in. And that was the whole key, just to make it inviting.
And the beauty of that particular loft and
Yeah.
this particular home is that window that goes right out into the mountain.
I know, it's gorgeous.
It really is.
Yeah.
That spot right now, looking at that, it's going right out into it.
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, imagine waking up in the morning, rolling over and opening your eyes to beautiful red mountains around you.
Yeah. Well, we got more tiny homes to look at. Thanks for watching, and
I'm
we'll
excited.
get moving.
You should see the next one.
All right. This particular home that we're sitting in right now, what's this one called?
So this one is actually called the Ruby Red.
Okay.
Yes.
The Ruby Red, even though right now this whole thing in here is yellow.
It's yellow.
And
yes.
I actually really, when we first walked into this home and I saw this, I loved it. Partly because it has the double doors that just open all the way up. So it just gives it this really, really open feel.
Yeah, so the reason behind that is we wanted to incorporate the outside deck area into the tiny home.
Okay.
So you open up the doors and it literally brings your living room onto the deck.
Then you walk in here and it actually feels very, and maybe it's because of the color or something, but it feels very, very spacious in here.
Yes, it feels spacious and calm. Like that's the whole, you might get a little hungry when you're in here though. So red and yellow are the colors that make you hungry.
Really?
Yes.
So we've talked before about the length of these homes, the different options. This particular one is how long?
So this one's only a 24-footer.
Okay. And this is kind of an interesting design, the way you guys did this.
Yes.
Because it's not just steps. These are actually like storage
unit
cubby area. Mm-hmm. So this side you have this unusual staircase.
Yes.
That's cubbies. On that side you have something that's, I think we've seen before, that's a little bit like a ladder, but it's actually stairs.
Yeah, so we call them slanted ladders. That's key to having a ladder because most people aren't going to want to do the whole climb straight up a ladder. Comfort is key and safety as well.
Most of these homes seem to have this too. There's something about when you walk in here, the height of these ceilings just makes the place feel big.
Yeah.
Makes it feel like you have this feeling of openness and space.
Yeah, you don't feel claustrophobic. Like that's actually a question I get asked quite a bit is, are the lofts claustrophobic? Like, is it gonna make me feel like I have to leave? And I always say no. It's really rare that someone would feel claustrophobic in the lofts. Just because all the windows and the skylights and really the pitched ceilings, you're not going into a dungeon. You know, you're feeling like it's a little bedroom.
I love this kitchen too. You have the recessed microwave down there is what it looks like.
Yes, we built a cubby for the microwave.
And then a fridge around the corner there.
Yep. Yeah.
Well, very good. Cool.
Okay,
we're going to move on to the next one.
Sounds great.
Very good. This one is so fascinating to me. I'm fascinated by a number of different things. First of all, when you come inside these, how they feel big, I think partly because the ceilings are so tall.
Yes.
You know, when you walk in here. So first of all, this particular one, how tall is do you know how tall the ceiling is?
It's about 11 feet once you're inside the tiny home.
Okay. And then this one I thought was really interesting too because you did something unique with the windows.
Yes.
You have these three windows right behind where this couch is, and because you planned on having a couch here to begin with. And then they kind of have this angle where they go up. You have the tall one, middle, smaller, and then this three small, and then it repeats itself over on this side.
Yep.
Right above here we have these skylights.
Yes. And they do have blinds that you can close.
I love what happened in this particular home with what you did with the floors.
So this is vinyl plank float. It's a floating floor, which I really like because it's easy to switch out if we ever have any issues. This brand says it's 100% waterproof.
So then something that's really neat about these tiny homes, and this is an example of that, where we're literally kind of on a second floor right now.
Yes, we are.
And right below us is, we have some stairs that come up here, and right below us is a sleeping area.
Okay, so the sleeping area is actually really cool. So we have two different options. You can either put a king bed down there, or you can put a split twin set. We also have another option where if you do a twin set, we can separate the bottom. So there are actually two little separate rooms down there.
Very interesting. The way you did the colors in here is pretty neat too.
Yeah, so the color design is actually picked by the owner, unless they're one of those owners that isn't very design savvy and they want us to pick the colors, which I feel like that's a lot of fun. And the best tiny homes are the ones that they were like, Autumn, just do it for me. And then I'm like, you know what? I know exactly what books well. It's a mixture between modern and, little bit of color.
A little consistency.
Exactly.
So that particular, when I look down here, is there anything special or unique about those cupboards? Because it's, depending on the home, you have more, the storage and space requirements can be different.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we actually do build a lot of tiny homes for people who want to live in them. And our nightly rental tiny homes and the tiny homes that people are living in are completely different. The nightly rental tiny homes don't have a lot of storage. It's mostly an open feel because when you travel, think about it. Do you take everything out of your suitcase and put it away?
No.
No one does. No one does. Okay. The hotels could just get rid of those dressers completely. No one would care. But that's what we left room for. You'll see a lot of open space for people to bring their luggage in.
All right. See you at the next house.
Okay, let's go.
How big is this one?
This one's a 30-footer.
This is and that's the largest you make them, right?
Right now,
30.
yes, it's the largest. We do have one in the pipelines that's a 38-footer.
Oh wow, okay. That's really big.
Huge, yeah. Yeah, it is going to be our Harry Potter tiny house, so it needed to be bigger so we could make it
sense.
Cooler.
I love this one. So I want to talk about all the different stuff that you did with this space. The first thing that captures me, and like I said a second ago, is you have all these different like shapes. You know, the ceiling doesn't have one consistent thing going across. It's more deep in one spot and higher in another, and tell me a little bit about this.
Yeah, so that is just us changing the angle of the roof pitch. So the reason we did that is we kind of wanted to highlight the different lofts and the centerpiece.
And it just gives that extra feeling of depth.
Yes.
It actually, it interestingly makes that whole section, the upstairs, feel bigger.
Yes, even though it's the same size.
Yeah, it's really interesting stuff.
Yes. This entertainment center is actually really cool. It's got a built-in fireplace, a TV, like speaker system, everything built in. So it's tight to the wall, but you have everything you need, which is really nice. It gives it a nice decorated up-class feel. We actually reversed it a little bit in this tiny home where we have 2 lofts on one side. So you go up there and there's actually 2 queen beds.
Okay.
They're separated, so one isn't going to be like able to see the other one, so they are separated. But then on this other side, we have a king loft.
Oh wow!
So this is technically, so the side above the kitchen is technically the master loft, and then the other 2 queen lofts are for children.
You know, you go up into these loft areas where you have the king and the queen areas. You have these windows.
Yeah.
That are all around up in there, and you do that
for a 360-degree view. Because one view you're going to turn and you're going to see the tiny home, which is an awesome view from the loft looking down. And then the other 3 walls you're going to see outside. And
it's also, and you said this just a second ago, because something that strikes you when you walk in here, you do have the contrast, the black and the white contrast, but the artwork.
It actually makes it more appealing to booking too. So when people are booking, they'll look for the ones that have the decorations that remind them of home or what they wish their home could look like. You know, this is something that they can escape. Maybe it's a mom who's just had enough of cleaning constantly and dealing with the kids and all this other stuff. She just wants to escape to a nice clean environment where she could feel free for a while. In the middle of winter, you could turn the fireplace on, watch a movie and sit next to the fire, and like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And so interestingly then, and we've talked about this in some of the other homes, you have one side that has this really interesting solid staircase right there.
Yeah, so this one is a more traditional staircase, but what we did is we built this wall and we actually dug into the staircase from the inside of the washing your hands area so you can prep and get ready. Well, we added a closet. So we did a little bit of a hybrid of what you would expect if someone's living in it. Because it can fit up to 8 people, we wanted the ability to have more than one person getting ready at once. So we separated the bathroom.
Oh, so so you have the bathroom, we can see back there has a door.
Yes.
So you have where the shower is on the other side of that, and then you have this whole area where you can get ready inside there. So it's just a larger bathroom, more people can get.
Exactly. So the bathroom actually is the same amount of space as the 2 queen beds up top. So we've got the back section with the shower and the toilet together, and that's one door you can close. And then we have another section where the sink and the closet are. so you can get ready in the sink area and in the shower area.
Okay. Very good. Yeah, I love it. And it feels, it's interesting because when you open up these doors too, it just feels big.
Oh,
It feels like it just goes on and on and on. It has an amazing feeling to that.
Yeah, the 30-footer is a pretty big tiny home.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
And then you have the black stairs, which then go along with all these other accents. And then on this side, you know, remind me what these are called right here, because it's kind of like a ladder, but it's kind of like stairs.
Yeah, that's
but you have
a
term
slanted
for it.
ladder.
Slanted
Yeah.
ladder. That's what you call it. And so this side has a slanted ladder getting you up into the king
Yes,
area.
the king loft.
So tell us a little bit about, we have this kitchen here, and you have all the black then on the cabinets, but then you have the countertop, which is a dramatically different color. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit about what you did over here.
So I always do a contrast between the countertops, the cabinets, and then the floor. So you always want to match one or the other. So if your countertop is light, your flooring should be light, and your cabinets should be dark. And then
Gotcha.
the opposite as well.
Okay, that makes sense.
And
So
it
if you're-
all shouldn't clash with your wall color as well.
are you building these cabinets from scratch then?
Yes, we do build the cabinets.
People literally come here and rent these places and stay for a night, 2 nights, whatever, while they're on vacation. Or
Yep.
These are investments.
Yeah, normal people can uplift their families and be able to have a stable income. The key behind this is like our idea of first time investments with low risk. That's huge. I mean, we're talking about ROIs that are between 13 and 25%.
Yeah, so
That's maybe a stay-at-home mom being able to be a stay-at-home mom.
you take care of it.
Yeah, they don't have to do
Make sure,
anything.
yeah, basically they buy it, put it here, and then you just rent it out.
Exactly.
And they're able to make money off
Yes.
of it.
So the only thing that I want them to be involved in is the design of the tiny home, and that's it. That's it. I handle talking to guests. I do everything.
And then these things just keep getting booked, and it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
So if somebody was interested in investing, buying a tiny home that they can put out here and,
Yeah.
and rent, where do they go? What do they do?
So they could visit Zion'sTinyHomes.com or Zion'sTinyGetaway.com and message us and say, hey, you know, I'm interested in doing this. We do have a little bit of a waiting list right now. We're about a year and a half out. So if you're really serious, get on board, put your deposit down, and start the process.
It's pretty awesome.